So I threw up my drone, photographed downward. I think you said I happen to always look down on you.
I had suspicions that you would look down on me, and now I have proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
To which I say, you don't know the theme song to Golden Girls.
Still don't. On this episode of Photographers and Cars, we talk about stuff with Spencer Pablo.
Hello, it's Spencer Pablo here.
And I'm Scott Davenport.
Hey, what up?
Yeah.
What up?
All right, I'm going to turn off that voice because,
Thank you.
gosh,
Yeah.
it's getting annoying.
Also, this is continuing
This
the whole.
Well, this is the hipster stuff. You were called out, and you're embracing it, and that is awesome.
And you know
the fact that you didn't even have to go out and buy this stuff.
hey,
there might be some truth.
No, so it's so weird. I guess you try to say no, I'm not a hipster. I'm not a hipster. And the funny thing is, you can make anything to look hipsterish that you already own. I just happen to have a flamingo shirt, but hipsters can have jeans and a shirt. You're also a hipster.
And a Nike shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is just a basic gray, and that's all right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a catch-up episode kind of thing.
Yeah,
we're in between events. I just wrapped up Coastline's workshop, and you came out and helped out, which was awesome. And had a lot of fun. And you've got a photo walk coming up.
I do.
In a few days as this goes up.
Yeah,
which that'll be a completely different.
It's a different vibe altogether.
Wax.
I mean, instead of hanging out, getting your shoes and your toes wet along the sand of San Diego, beautiful place, we venture inland and we check out the beautiful murals that we have scattered throughout a couple neighborhoods. Do some street photography. So completely different than what you're probably used to.
Totally different vibe. Yeah.
So I remember you actually had an episode where you decided to try your hand at street photography, and that one was fun. I was glad to be a part of that.
It was a good episode. Yeah, on my personal YouTube channel. It was certainly a struggle. I am going to attend your photo walk, but the intention is going to be I'll be the behind the snes guy because I want to turn it into a Photographers and Cars episode. So I'll just be getting a heck ton of B-roll and not particularly caring about trying to capture photos per se. I think that'll be a little more in tune with me.
It'll be cool.
What was your impressions going back to the Coastline thing of that workshop and anything that it was kind of cool. We had all Sony shooters, so
it worked out.
That was kind of why he's like, I should probably get Spencer in there.
It worked out. So there was a bunch of Sony shooters, and we played a game called Stump the Sony. Stump the Sony guy.
Stump the Sony guy.
And so it was fun. It was a good group. It was a small, very manageable group, and they all were happy to be there. And they were like sponges. They wanted to just pick up all the information. I know we were doing some live edits. The photographer who shall not be named in this episode, who happens to have galleries all over the world, well, at least over here in San Diego, there was some let's emulate his style, or let's talk about why we shouldn't emulate his style. Anyway, so there was some of that. We visited some of the iconic coastal spots here in San Diego.
Scripps Pier, La Jolla, Sunset Cliffs, all good stuff.
You even took him over to Coronado to go photograph our
actually,
skyline.
where we're sitting right now, I can see the bridge. That was kind of our main subject for the morning, and then took in the you try to mix in play a little bit of tourist afterward because there's only so many hours you get the good light.
Yes, I may have taken my vehicle full of photographers from your workshop and brought them over to another secret spot.
Well, it's not secret anymore.
Well,
a couple of folks shared some of the
cool.
it
was on the way back.
Nighttime. Exactly. Grab the nighttime view.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what happened, and it was really cool. For mine, I'll tell you. Last year I hosted this.
I was going to ask, from last year you did this photo walk, and going into this year.
I'm
thinking about doing anything different, or
well, I'm not going to blast it out as much because last year it was a fairly full house, and because it's street photography, which obviously involves streets, when you have 40 to 50 other photographers who want to photograph everything during the photo walk, because it is also a contest, they're trying to just photograph everything. Well, to try to corral that many people to cross streets at the same time to make sure you keep track, your voice is done at the end. It feels like you have climbed a summit or something. Yeah. I was going to say Mount Everest, but I don't know.
That's a little bit, probably a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I can hear, I know what you mean about the voice thing. I mean, try, being out at the ocean for 4 days, try talking over the ocean to your students for that long, and you're just you're shredded at the end of it.
Oh yeah.
But
that's what we got. That's what we do. We're not behind the camera. A lot of times we rather enjoy helping other folks when they're behind the camera. So
definitely. I mean, that's the
educator.
That's the kind of thing. Yeah, when you're in the I don't know if about you, get into teacher mode, and that's what we do. I mean, like when the group was out at Sunset Cliffs, I took exactly one photo. And it was just so that I made sure I had something in case I needed to show something during the next day in class. But it was not about me capturing photos. Yeah. So
that was a fun one. I think that was the evening before. I think that's where we went to La Jolla. And the skies for me were just like, you know what? I've been here and I've taken shots at that spot we were at.
Of course.
Yeah. And you know, I love that location, but I wanted color, and there just wasn't much color along the coast. So I threw up my drone. Photograph downward. I think you said I happen to always look down on you.
I had suspicions that you would look down on me, and now I have proof.
Yeah.
So there you go.
To which I say, you don't know the theme song to Golden Girls.
Still don't.
So need I say more? Yeah.
Look, there's two kinds of people in this world: those that know the theme song and those that don't. There you go. And that's it. It's not a major part of my life.
Oh man.
And we move on.
And yet, Timbuk 3, look them up.
Also not a major part of my life.
But somehow taking up brain cells.
Yeah, just happen to know it. Yep.
So you know what's interesting? I am hungry right now. And
it's because you're sitting next to some good restaurants.
Yeah, I am hungry, man. And that car is honking. I wonder if they're thinking we're leaving. Sorry, car, not leaving.
Yeah, we're not.
No, you know what?
Let's go tell them we're not leaving.
Hey, actually, before we do that, so Photokina.
So that's happening.
I'm gonna let that car steep for a little bit.
It's like happening right now as we record this.
So new cameras, of course, newer models of cameras, cool new software announcements. Now, there's this one particular product that is the combination of new hardware and software that is probably very near and dear to a lot of photographers out there. It's Lightroom. And so there's this camera made by Zeiss, the beautiful, beautiful company that I love the colors that they have on the lens. It's actually one of the original reasons why I shot Sony back in the day, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, they came out with they announced a new camera. It's a full frame camera, but it's a fixed 35 millimeter lens. And it has Lightroom built in.
Yeah, the back of it almost looks like about the size of a mobile phone. I'm assuming it's Lightroom CC.
It's massive. It's pretty massive. 4.3 inch screen.
Yep. And I mean, it raises a lot of questions. And I mainly think about it in terms of licensing, updates, and how easy it is to manage the thing. But it's basically, we've announced the camera and people haven't gotten their hands on it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for people that love to do mobile editing, that is a nice deal. Does it have Wi-Fi connectivity and all that? It does. Kind of stuff? Does it? Oh, good.
It does.
Good.
And on top of it, so it has a half a terabyte SSD inside. It doesn't have a memory card slot. So 512 gigabytes of storage.
Okay.
But on top of that, it can also it has hooks to like Dropbox or your NAS. And when you hit a Wi-Fi location, it'll start backing it up.
Streaming it out. That part's nice.
Yeah.
That should be something.
It's disruptive, and I don't quite know how I'm going to feel about it, but it also has the power to really make someone's workflow, do something really well with someone's workflow.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that, I'm not particularly excited about Lightroom and a camera. It's like, okay, that's fine. But what you just said there, it's disruptive, and it's one of those like feeler technologies. You kind of put it out there. Like, you remember a few years ago, Lightro?
Yeah.
And now all of that stuff is coming into cameras and mobile phones. And so we got multiple cameras in there. Even Apple's touting that now. Take the shot and pick your focus later. It's like, that was spearheaded by Lightro, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that it's you ever been to Akihabara in Japan? Yeah, you go there, like half the stuff that they have we'll never see the world market because it's like proving grounds. Like we're gonna put a bunch of like wacky electronics out there.
Oh yeah.
You see what sticks and see what doesn't. And
Akihabara. Yeah. So interesting story about Akihabara, right? I remember I had a Sony RX100 with me, and I'm walking around Akihabara and taking pictures of a whole bunch of things. And only when I hopped back on the train on my way back to Tokyo, I was reviewing my images, and I happened to have one of those picture profiles loaded that made everything look like a cartoon. And I was like, crap! But it kind of worked because Akihabara is very cartoon-esque.
There's a lot of anime and gaming and cartoony type stuff.
So still on the topic of tech, we happen to get
you got your
mail,
goodies,
and so did you, sir.
This cool card.
Yeah, here you go.
Wow.
That's a very here you
Not
are.
Not only is it square, it's printed on both sides.
Yeah, doing their part
awesome.
To save the
That is right.
planet.
You're using both sides of the tree.
Yeah, so that's all you get.
Time lapse.
That's all you get. This is what I'll
card.
keep. I'll keep this thing here.
Yeah, you keep that.
Yeah,
and I'll keep this card.
So we got our time lapses. So
awesome.
Stay tuned. We'll probably do it. Here you are. Time lapse at some point in the not too distant. I'll do a time lapse.
We do time lapse while we're sitting here talking about time lapse.
Yeah. So we'll figure out how to use this thing, and then in the coming weeks, probably share with you some of our time lapse exploits.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, I was still hungry.
Yes, that hasn't changed. It probably has slightly increased.
Yeah.
Well, let's go take care of that.
Alrighty.
See y'all next time.
All right, thanks.